My name is Barry Martin Snyder, and our website is luminousself.com. I'm sitting in a beautiful spot in the high desert in northeastern California, looking out at a clear sky, and it seems endless. The juniper trees. It's such a beautiful place. And yet, deep within my being, I know there's so much more. It's not to deny the beauty of this place, but all of us know, even in our most wonderful times, even when we've been on the highest moments that we can experience in a human, that there's still something more. And that's why all the world's great traditions spiritually have been about seeking moksha or liberation. The knowing that there is something inherent about this world that is not all that we know is possible. Many traditions have the idea of a fall, whether it be the fall from grace, described in Christianity, where humans were thrown out of the garden, or in Hinduism, it's a descent from the Satya Yuga of light and love and only truth to the Kali Yuga, where there's deep forgetting and sleep. Many other traditions talk about these cycles. But in our heart of hearts, if we didn't know something more was possible, we wouldn't seek. We wouldn't be unhappy at some level. It doesn't mean that our lives are terrible or awful. But we know that suffering is part of this world, and from time to time, it takes a big bite out of us. This third dimensional world is a shadowland. It is not what Christ called the kingdom of heaven, or the Buddha called the Buddha realms, or what in the Vedas, in the Hinduism, they talk about the higher lokas. We as souls have descended into a material world in which it appears that everything is separate. But this idea of separation in itself is an illusion and ultimately impossible. So what we're experiencing here is an appearance, a holographic bubble reality that many souls have agreed on, and it lies in the illusion of separation. As Apostle Paul said, we see through a lens darkly. Our minds are asleep to the truth, and therefore we perceive and thus create this holographic outer image that we call the world. It's powerfully trance-inducing because so many of us have agreed on this, and yet we know at the moment that we leave this body, as witnessed by so many NDEs, there is something so vastly wonderful and beyond this. Yet all this has become so normalized for all of us, except those who know better and seek. But for most human beings, this world is the only home we think we know. I'd like to read some beautiful lines out of the Course in Miracles, lesson number 166, because Yeshua says it so clearly. I quote, "Here's the only home he thinks he knows. Here's the only safety he believes he can find. Without the world he made, he is an outcast, homeless and afraid. He does not realize that it is here he is afraid indeed, and homeless too. An outcast wandering so far from home, So long away he does not realize he has forgotten where he came from, where he goes, and even who he really is. And yet in all his lonely, senseless wanderings, God's gifts go with him, all unknown to him. He cannot lose them, but he will not look at what God has given him. He wanders on, aware of the futility he sees about him everywhere, perceiving how his little lot but dwindles as he goes ahead to nowhere. Still he wanders on in misery and poverty, alone though God is within him. And a treasure is so great that everything the world contains is valueless before its magnitude. He seems a sorry figure, weary, worn, in threadbare clothing, and with feet that bleed a little from the rocky road he walks. No one but identified with him, for everyone who comes here has pursued the path he follows and has felt defeat and hopelessness as he is feeling them. Yet he is really tragic when you see that he is following the way he chose and need not but realize who walks with him and open up his treasures to be free. This is your chosen self, the one you made as a replacement for reality. This is the self you savagely defend against all reason, every evidence and all the witness you prove to show this is not you. You heed them not. You go on your appointed way, with eyes cast down, lest you might catch a glimpse of the truth and be released from self-deception and set free. Does this not so aptly describe the state of the majority of humanity? We are like wealthy kings and queens who find ourselves cast out into a ditch, seemingly in poverty, only because we are in trance, asleep to who we are. And so we scramble about in this world looking for what is not here, what can only be found within. And that's not to be nihilistic. It's not that there is not joys to be found in this world, but they only come as a reflection of our true self, our soul. We can be in the most glorious place on this planet, and when we are in our suffering and disconnected from who we are, it is flat and lifeless. And yet we can be in one of the most mundane or even difficult places, but when we are connected to who we truly are, it does not touch us. We are in peace. We know who we are. Only when we realize that my kingdom is not of this world, as Yeshua said, and turn within to find the kingdom within us, can we walk away from this incredible poverty. It is only then that this world will shift to mirror the divinity, the heaven within that we have found. There is no way we are going to change it out there. As we watch the events of the world unfold here at the end of time, we wonder how this all can change. But it is not but an outpicturing of our separation belief. The outpicturing of the poverty, of loss of our souls that causes all of this. What we see out there itself is not real. It's not but an effect of what is inside of us. The loss of communion with a luminous divinity that is our true nature. For the kingdom to be restored, we must first find it within. And we will find that everything we have ever wanted or needed is inside of us. All the richness, the joy, the happiness, the abundance are all our inherent nature. They can never be found without. No matter what we grasp for and obtain, it will wither in time, as does all things, including this body. My kingdom is not of this world. Yes, life has its wonderful moments, its pleasures, its satisfactions, and its joys as we walk here for a while. But we know we are never home here, and never will be. It is not to run to escape. It is to realize that we're here for a reason. To come here, to go to sleep, and wake up and remember who we are, and thus bring the light of the divine into this shadowy world so that it may be illumined and raised and become an outpicturing of the divinity that is the truth. Let us this day and tomorrow and the next keep remembering that all that we seek already lies within us as our true nature. There's nothing out there that we need to grasp for and obtain or to run away from. Everything is within us as our true self. It is so important at this time, at the end of time, to remember to stay home, and when we drift away, to come back as soon as we are aware. The light in the core of our beings is expanding exponentially as the kingdom of heaven is returning first. And the only way it truly can is a direct experience of it within the core of our being. When we bask in its radiance and we melt in its love, when the joy that is our nature elevates us, and then the outer world, which is but a mirror of our inner state of being, will reflect that. The outer world, as physicists have told us, as mystics have always said, is nothing but a holographic reflection of what is inside of us. Let us remember this. Let us remember that there is nothing out there for us to seek or find. And then and only then will this terrible poverty of soul, this suffering that we all have known, end. And only then. I join with you today to remind you and myself of the only thing that is true, the only thing that will bring back the Garden of Eden that we so desperately want to get back to. Let us remember that the garden already exists eternally inside of us, inside of what is always there, can never be changed or lost. Let us rest there in more and more moments as this dissolving, dying world must pass away so that it can outpicture what has always been the truth. Much love and many blessings.